Getting hype when I aim up, elevating that game up, stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave, eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. Watch me elevate. I was born and when I watch me elevate. I was born and when I watch me elevate. All in when I show up, whole place about to blow up. Superior to that competition. I'm in first place, yeah, that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave, eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. Watch me elevate. I was born and when I watch me elevate. I was born and when I watch me elevate. Getting hype when I aim up, elevating that game up, stepping up to the competition. Only first place, yeah, that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave, eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. Watch me elevate. I was born and when I watch me elevate. I was born and when I watch me elevate. Watch me elevate. Yeah. All in when I show up, whole place about to blow up. Superior to that competition. I'm in first place, yeah, that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave, eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate.
Good evening and welcome back to the internet's least favorite podcast. We are The Brand Show. Thanks for tuning in, and my sincerest apologies for the delay in show. Guys, as you know, we were supposed to have Bobby Valla on September, God, what was it, the 6th, Smallz?
Yeah.
Okay, so we didn't have Bobby Valla on the 6th, and this is our first show in over a month, so my sincerest apologies to you guys, but hello for those of you who are new, those of you who haven't seen us before. My name is Billy Nichols. You can call me Quicksilver. You can call me The Brand. You just don't have the ability to call me late to lunch.
And my name is Chris, a.k.a. Papa Smallz, the best dad on the internet, because I left for milk and cigarettes, and I came back.
I love you, Dad.
I love you too, son.
And we got one more with us tonight. I'll let this dude introduce himself.
What? I don't get the big intro?
Oh, you want the big intro? Okay. Hailing from Spencer, Massachusetts, weighing in at 190 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the All Elite Wrestling All Spencer Champion. Is that even a title? I don't know, but I don't care. And he's wearing probably the worst fucking ripoff t-shirt in the history of the world. Fuck CM Punk. But ladies and gentlemen, producer of the show, Dan Burque. And his mic's not working. He said he wasn't going to do this, but he did it anyway.
Thanks everybody for having me on. And thanks for that great intro. Oh, my goodness.
You wore a CM Punk shirt. That's what happens.
Well, yeah, but that's beside. I actually wore it because of you, because I knew you were going to shit on it. So I was just like, we'll come out of the gate. Why not?
Well, you know what? If it was that John Cena NFT shirt, I would have been like more excited, because that John Cena NFT shirt was the greatest ripoff of all time. I mean, I'm a big Super Mario 3 fan.
This came out first.
But Swedish! I'm old, I'm tired, and I work with a bunch of fucking children. Welcome to The Brand Show.
Yeah, that's about right.
But guys, it's good to be back. Thanks for being here with my wonderful co-hosts. Before we get into the show, as you know, next week is Bobby Valla. September 27th, we will be back. Talking the toy industry, disrupting the toy industry, and doing some fun stuff. But before we get into the show, I do want to let you guys know there are no shows programmed or scheduled for the month of October. The Brand Show will be taking the occasional hiatus to upgrade things, make sure that our team is taken care of, has some time to rest and be with family, okay? Our next show after September 27th will be November 1st, and we will be announcing our guest during New York Comic Con, right?
I believe that's a plan, yeah.
We don't know when that's going to happen, how that's going to happen, who's going to do it, what's going to happen. But what I do know is that it's going to be, you're going to be standing in the face of a czar. That's all I know. When you find out who this guest is, you're going to be saying his name like ASMR. It's amazing. This guest is, I can't tell you. It's you know what? It's Sprocket from Fraggle Rock. That's who it is.
I fucking knew it.
I knew it too. Actually, you know what, guys? It's going to be the most interesting man in wrestling. It's going to be Wardlow. No, I'm just kidding.
He's not interesting at all.
He is not interesting at all.
But not interesting.
You know what? Without further ado, guys, let's get down to business. It is time to get into business. Actually, guys, it's going to be this ringside exclusive wheelchair. That's who it's going to be. Fuck the wheelchair. It's not the show. Let's get out of this and into the show. Guys, it's been a busy week. It's been a great week. A lot of news actually came out today, so I had to rewrite the entire script this morning because a lot of stuff dropped. I don't know if it's just magic dropped the news day. I don't know, but like a lot of stuff happened, and we're going to get into that here in a minute, but why don't we lead off with weekly purchases? Mr. Producer of the show, Dr. Silverballs. Oh, wait, wrong guy. My bad. Hold on. Nope, it's not Smart Mark Sterling. Excuse me. Wrong show.
Did you say Dr. Silverballs?
Yeah, Mark Sterling on the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast is known as Dr. Silverballs, but the
That's
nature
amazing.
boy himself, Mr. Producer of the show, why don't you lead us off with your weekly purchases?
Me?
No, the other
not?
Dan Burque.
Well, exactly. I'm sure there's another one out there.
Somewhere.
So Saturday I was able to purchase the new Bret Hart Elite.
And you know what?
Hey.
There's a funny story behind that figure. First of all, shout out to our friends at Zombie Hideout. What a wonderful
Fantastic.
store. Fantastic, worth the drive. We're going to get into that a little later. But we found a Chase Bret Hart on the wall, and I put it down for 10 seconds, and somebody bought it.
Yeah, because you thought it was going to go to me, and then I was just like, I actually kind of opened my mouth before I should have, because I was just like, I'll buy you lunch for it. And then somebody already took it in that meantime, so I had to buy them lunch.
Well, hey,
Still, but
hey, I'll take free Applebee's wings any day of the week.
exactly. Nothing but the best.
Nothing but the top notch for
Nothing
a
but
bunch
the
of
best.
nerds, baby.
Riblets on me.
All right,
Riblets on
so
me.
there was that. I know there was some other stuff. Keep going, Dan.
So then we have the MJF and Kenny Omega. I was able to buy these on GameStop because they had a sale.
Nice.
So I was able to buy them under retail. So I was happy about that.
I like under retail.
I always
like
forget
it.
that GameStop sells wrestling stuff like that.
They do a lot of stuff, dude.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, at this point.
A couple weeks ago, I was able to. I went and visited Sir Billy, and we ended up going to a bunch of Walmarts to try to find the Walmart exclusive CM Punk AEW figure. However, I went over to Eric's.
I think we
the
went
Emporium
to 5.
in Northeastern.
Yeah, we went to the Emporium of Retro and Interesting Collectibles, Southeastern.
Southeastern.
Cheap plug.
And I was able to find the CM Punk, but not the Walmart exclusive. This is the Elite 16 CM Punk, of course.
Now,
From
that is
Money
a
in the
money
Bank.
figure. That is a
This
money
is-
figure.
This is big money. I didn't pay what this goes for on the aftermarket, but the aftermarket you're looking in probably around the $300, $250 range.
Damn.
Yeah, that's a big boy figure.
And later on that week, history was made.
Yeah,
History
CM Punk got
was
fired
made.
and nobody knows it.
Not because of that, because of the fact that I was able to order something on Walmart.com for pickup.
And it was done properly?
Wasn't canceled.
Or damaged.
It was not canceled or damaged.
Holy shit.
So after looking for the CM Punk Walmart exclusive and finding Elite 16, my local Walmart had the CM Punk.
Look in my eyes, what do you see? A grumpy old dude who needs some weed.
He does.
I really thought you were going to say, I don't know, what was it? Cult of personality? Look in
No.
my eyes and tell me what you see.
Well, listen, I could do a whole episode on CM Punk, but
I know you could.
I know there's one more thing that Dan wants to show that I'm really excited to see. So bust out them Ghostbusters Migos, bro. Let me see those.
Oh, you couldn't even give me the dramatic announcement on that. So the I gotta say this to Walmart. I gotta say this to Hasbro and also to Amigo. They really outdone themselves with the box art. I'm trying to get the slip cover off. Give me a second, folks. This is the slip cover. It looks like the old VHS cover
Oof.
that
I like that.
Sony used to that Sony put out. Then the back cover, of course, is the figures in action, and then some live shots from, of course, the film. And then this is what we get under it. This is Hasbro Pulse and Amigo did themselves.
Got a spider, bros.
tremendous. This is right up there.
That's
Like,
amazing.
For
Holy
That's
everything in my
dope.
collection. This is all 4 suits are cloth. They all come with proton packs, all that stuff. I'm a Minter on card guy though, so these aren't definitely not coming out of the box.
Dan doesn't
But
know
this
how to
is-
let them breathe, plain and simple.
And well, these are breathing. They're technically there's
Dan's
no window
like,
panel,
I can
so-
touch them little soft goods coats.
but
Smalls.
yes,
What the fuck was that?
that was terrifying.
That
Very
was. I
terrifying.
need therapy now.
I need therapy after that.
Smalls, what do you got, bro? You're up next.
So not a huge week or month.
Dan,
for me.
also hold that last one because we're gonna talk about it when we get to it. Okay, we got a whole section on it. Don't worry.
So for myself, not a hugely extravagant month. I've been busy with a lot of other stuff, as you guys know.
Yeah, the tour road from hell you've been on.
It's
Well, not from hell,
Yeah.
but you know.
no, I mean to an extent. But I was in. Surprisingly, Walmart has stepped their vinyl game up quite a bit.
Damn, we're putting Walmart over again tonight.
Yeah. Shinedown's newest record, Planet Zero.
Awesome record, may I add? Listen to that on
I-
iTunes the other day.
I haven't even listened to it yet.
Enjoyed it.
But Shinedown is one of my favorite bands. Zach Myers is a friend. Brent Smith is one of the gentlest human beings I've ever met. My other big one, which isn't even a grail, I actually want to show you these guys' website as well, Bill. Respawned Records. So
Okay.
I discovered this company through an ad on Instagram, actually. They're a company that works with the game developers and publishing companies to get the rights to basically press video game soundtracks onto vinyl.
I like it.
So they have a lot of their stuff is already sold out. Like they have, do you remember Vexed from like the PS2?
Yeah, of course.
So that's up there as they have
Wow.
like a metal redoing of that. They have like the Vector Man soundtrack on there. They have a bunch of
Wow.
stuff.
But
It's a
do
lot
they
of
have-
really cool.
Do they
old
have
school
Final
stuff.
Fantasy VII?
No, that would be several $100s through Square Enix directly because they're whores.
Horse.
But I did manage to get a large chunk of my childhood pressed on vinyl. GoldenEye 007.
Yes! You got it!
So
Yes!
this is
Yes!
apparently because I only just discovered this record company like a couple months ago.
I can't
And I
believe
was
you
like, yo.
actually got that. You didn't.
Yeah.
Ah!
So when that fucking came out, and like I said, I've only just discovered this record label a couple of months ago, and I saw it on their website. I was like, yo, I need that. And then they announced that they were releasing a very limited run. And it was dropping at like 1 PM on like a Wednesday. I went on their website, created an account, put in all my info, and grabbed it. I'm one of like 7 people that was able to grab a copy of this that wasn't like a bot online.
Damn.
And I had people offering me on Instagram copies of this. They were offering me hundreds of dollars to get this because no one was able to get it. And then there was an uproar, and now Respawn is doing pre-orders currently for another like 400 or 500.
Damn.
But this is one of 75 pressings in the Bloodshot variant.
That's sick.
So it's
That is
very, very cool.
so sick.
It's all the, I don't know if you'll be able to see it here on camera, but it's all the like level music. It's like Control Center, the Cavern, the Aztec Temple. It still doesn't have Cradle, which everyone's very upset about, but all I care about, honestly, is that Runway is there and that Control Center.
Is the pause music there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, baby.
It has to be. Come
That's
on,
my
bro.
favorite. That's my favorite. All right. That's it?
That's all I got,
wow.
man.
All right,
That's all I got.
I guess it's up to me to finish this one out. All right, so it was a busy week. I was lucky. This past Friday, I celebrated 1 year cancer-free, which is very exciting. I went out and I bought myself a present. I bought myself the new iPhone. Shout out to my boy Leo over at AT&T in Dedham. Hooked me up. Bought myself a new watch, too. Bought the Watch Series 7. I bought the watch before because I didn't really want to wait. Was really excited about that. Just really happy to be on that road to remission. Project Remission is underway, and it's fantastic to be there. I got to give a shout out to my buddy Steve Archer over at Nerd Affiliated, who actually found this for me. I've been looking for this everywhere. The Masters of the Universe Merman from the new Masterverse series. For those of you who know, I'm a big fan of Merman because of the inside joke of him originally being named Seaman. Get it? Say it really fast, and it's Seaman. Ha ha! I'm a 12-year-old. But I'm really stoked because Steve found that for me. Steve, I know I owe you money if you're watching. I'm sorry. And for me, very short week too. Last but not least, I was able to procure the Toka and Razor NECA 2-pack from the animated series. Now, I don't ever remember these being on the show. Like, I think it was like season 10 they were on Ninja Turtles, the original run. But like, what's really fun about these is look at the accessories. It's got like a leg of mutton. It's got like a barbecue rib. And then it's got a fucking turkey and a fish. So like, my figure photography game just went through the roof. Now, there's one other thing that came in that I didn't get a chance to talk about because we weren't live when it came in, but this actually, I was really excited about this. So these came in. I know they're still available on MattelCreations.com for those of you who are Hasbro heads like myself. I was able to get my hands on the the Wave 2 Mattel Creations Retros. Just absolutely amazing. And my Mattel Creations New Generation Arena finally arrived, as you guys know. You saw the video. But, you know, it was really cool to, you know, see all this stuff. I mean, couple little things. But there's one other thing I want to tell you guys about, and we're going to run a Halloween contest, okay, guys? We want to get to 700 follows by Halloween. But we have something to give you guys. Myself, the producer, and Mr. Smallz here have gone in. Thanks to a hookup, once again, from our friends over at Nerd Affiliated, we have a second set of the Toka and Razor animated figures, okay? And I want to give one of you guys this set, okay? So what I need you to do is I need you to go out there and shout it from the rooftops, okay? I need you to tell everyone you know. I need you guys to get us to 700. That is not something that's hard to do, as we're at like 610 right now. So we need like 90 follows, okay? And if you want extra points, follow us on social media. Press !socials in the chat. Get to know where we're at online, okay? That way you guys can get with where we're at. And you know what? We'll throw a contest, okay? We'll get a Gleam going in the next few weeks or something like that, or we'll put all your names in a fucking randomizer. I don't fucking know how we're going to do this. But follow us over on Instagram, instagram.com/abunchofnerds_. Follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/abunchofnerd. You can follow me on Instagram at Billy Nichols Brand, Smallz at Chris Small Brand. Dan had to make his really hard because he works for like 7 podcasts. He can tell you his name.
It's only 3, but I even myself have to look it up now because it's kind of ridiculous.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. The social tag isn't working. I apologize. We'll get that working, guys. Also, the new iPhone is really awesome if you're an iPhone person. Smallz is like you spent money that you didn't need to spend.
So
I'm just glad you didn't go and buy a fucking bulletproof Apple Watch for $800 because you don't need one.
I don't. You're right.
You're not James Bond, nor are you an Olympic athlete.
Or
I'm an Olympic fathlete, but you know.
That's different. If anything, you would need the SE. Which is
all right, guys. One last thing, too. We're going to move news because we're coming up on the time. Hopefully, our guest should be on time tonight. For those of you who don't know who are here, our guest tonight is Troma Entertainment president and creator of The Toxic Avenger, Lloyd Kaufman. He's the first of our guests. And then at 9 p.m., our guest is going to be none other than Mrs. Brandshow herself, my wife, Rebecca. We're going to recap D23. It's going to be really fun. Tonight is a little bit bigger of an episode than we expected. But, Dan, what's your Instagram handle, for fuck's sake?
Well, you cut me off, so I didn't go with I didn't have a chance to say
Sorry.
PWW DMB brand 44. That is Instagram and also my Twitter. I had to go through a change because, and I kind of alluded to this earlier on my social media, I am now the co-host of Pro Wrestling World Podcast.
Over on Sportkita.
Over on, yes.
Sportkita,
so
big deal.
Kind of a big deal.
I mean, making us look fucking small over here, you prick.
Well, hey.
Congratulations, you prick.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I did go into this summer with a mission of saying that I was going to try to get attached to what I think is a major, obviously this program as well, but obviously another major affiliate. Well, hey, come on. You know, you got to start small somehow.
You're right.
But at the same time, I wanted to get into something a little bit bigger, and I've kind of hit that point. I'm the new co-host that I work with. We have very good chemistry, and I think it's going to be good. So, yeah, sky's the limit, I guess they could say.
Well, that's very exciting. Hold on. Zero, I am going to force you to play Superman 64 again. Yes, you are right. God damn it, Zero. All right, guys, let's get right into housekeeping. New segment here, talking about just what's been going on, things that, you know, might have missed. This has been a busy week for us, so let's lead out real quick. Dan and I were at Zombie Hideout this weekend to meet Danhausen, and that's really cool news, first of all. I want to give a special thank you to Danhausen. I had a great conversation. We had a great conversation with him. There may have been bribes, and I may have been threatened with I may have been threatened with a curse if I did not bring him human monies in a sack and King of the Hill figures. But we're going to talk about this in a minute because we also met another celebrity while we were there. But I do want to let you guys know that sometime in 2023, Danhausen will hopefully be a part of the brand show. That is AEW confirmed. I also did get this super sweet Major Pod Bendy sign that you guys know I have by Danhausen, which was really fucking exciting, actually. And, it was good. It was good. It was great. I enjoyed it. It was fantastic. So, Dan, what did you get?
What did I get? I was actually reaching for it a second ago, and then
Dan's literally like, I'm just gonna move the whole desk. Dan's having
Please
sex.
don't
under
make that
the desk.
motion ever again, Bill.
I was able to get this the fantastic No Ass Boys.
Ass boys.
The No Ass Boys are actually me and Billy, if you want to be quite honest.
Very true.
Mhm.
But this I was able to get signed by the legend Danhausen, who also was like, "Oh, don't put that in the plastic right away. You need to let the paint dry." It's
Yeah,
like,
shout out to Danhausen for
he is
not
so
wanting your
good
paint
with
pen to
that.
get smudged.
Right.
Like that's just fucking phenomenal. Now, guys, there's another celebrity we met this weekend at the show. We met MJF.
We did.
We also met Michael J. Fox, the
We did.
original Michael J. Fox.
That's right.
What a guy.
Michael J. Fox.
Guys, I just want to let you know that MJF, also known as Michael J. Fox, is going to be a part of the show in the near future. Now, this Michael J. Fox, he's a hard-working man. He starred in such movies as Stop and Shop Seafood Manager, and I'm Better Than You, and you know it. And let me tell you, this guy is a fucking legend. Can't wait to interview him, talk all about these things and Back to the Future and much, much more. But guys, also, Mr. Fox is in the chat. I want to give him a shout out. XJGBX, a lot of letters, Twisted Fox. Hello, Mr. Fox. Good to see you, my brother. Thank you for being here. And a shout out to your beautiful mother as well. Thank you both for being here and watching. I'm sure she's watching with you because you guys have such a great relationship. Going to signings together, hanging out. Great people, plain and simple. Smallz, you missed a great time. Like, the energy in the room, the vibe of the people at this signing, like, everybody was just... It wasn't traditional nerd people, and it wasn't traditional IWC. It was just... Everybody was so cool and so nice, and it was just... Everybody was talking to everybody, and, like, people that we knew were there, and it was just... It was fucking cool. We were in and out, but we ended up hanging around for like an hour just to chat with friends.
Yeah.
Like when you went to a signing at Heroes Hideout, it sucked. But I need to shut up because we got to get ready to get our guest in. Hopefully he's going to be on time. Smallz.
Yes.
Tribute for charity. Talk about it, baby.
Yeah. So you guys had your signing. I was running around like a cracked out chicken with its head cut off for Friday and Saturday. So for anyone that knows me outside of the screen that you're watching this on, the last 5 years, my best friend Devin and myself, he obviously started it. I kind of came in the second year, have put on a charity show at Sammy's Patio on Revere Beach in Mass, called Tribute for Charity, which was a culmination of local New England metal bands coming together to cover the big four of thrash metal from the 80s, which is originally what it started out as. It was a one-night event, so it was members of all walks of New England local metal covering Anthrax, Megadeth, Slayer, and Metallica. And he thought that it would be like 10 people would show up. We'd raise $100 for a charity, and he ended up making over $1,700 in a single night without even expecting it. And all of this was for the charity called Music Drives Us, which is a charity put on and created by Ernie Bach Jr., if anyone listens to the radio anymore, the Come On Down, Buy a Car guy. So he started this charity, which puts music programs and music education back in schools that have had it taken away from a lack of funding. And from the success of the first one, it kind of snowballed into a 2-night event the last technically 7 years, because 2 years off because of COVID. But this last weekend, we did the final one because Devin now lives in Finland. It's kind of hard to plan it from the other side of the planet. So this was the final year we did it. It was fantastic. We hit our 5-year goal of ideally trying to hit over $10,000 in total. We crossed it by about $200 or so. So he went and delivered that money to Ernie Bach himself the other day. And it was just it was a great time. It's something that I've helped run with him and involving the raffle prizes and stuff like concert tickets and all sorts of stuff. And we had tickets this year for like Lorna Shore, Gwar, Punk and Drublic Fest, which I'm actually shooting this weekend at the Palladium, and Trivium as well. So it was a good time. There was a lot of happy tears cried at the end of it. And it was just it was a nice sort of bittersweet culmination of a lot of years of work and then people coming out that we haven't seen in years. Like I saw people this weekend that I haven't seen since even pre-COVID, since like 2018, 2019, that came out just to see Devin, because he's a bigger person in the New England metal scene than myself, because I'm usually behind the scenes. To see everything kind of come to full fruition and get everything done and crush it the way we tried to. So it might come back later on down the road. I've had some ideas for it to keep it going, but for sure the original vibe of it will definitely be different if it does continue down the road. But to anyone that was there, thank you. Devin, you're my best friend in the world. I fucking love you. What you created is beautiful. Thank you.
That was amazing, guys. We're running a little behind schedule with our guest. I apologize. I'm not sure what's going on. We're gonna keep trying. We did send over links to Lloyd Kaufman's folks earlier today, so we're gonna make sure we get that done. I apologize. This is probably gonna be a little behind schedule. It's one of those things that we'll get to, but let's just get right into the news then while we're at it.
Yeah.
So today was a big day, like literally, like fucking A, like so much shit happening. Nvidia had their press, and Nvidia had their presser today. Modern Warfare open beta ended. Marvel announced a new game with Motion Studios. Hellraiser trailer for Hulu dropped. Sonic Prime trailer for Netflix dropped. I mean, lot to take in, you guys. What do you think?
It was a busy couple hours earlier on in the afternoon because everything kept rolling in.
It didn't stop. Like, so I watched all this stuff. I played the Modern Warfare beta. I'm gonna get into that a little later, but let's go right out here. Dan, did you watch the trailer for any of this shit? I mean, most importantly, the Hellraiser trailer.
I mean, I watched the Hellraiser trailer, but I've never really been a huge Hellraiser fan, to be quite honest.
Same.
Any of the films, anything like that, it's like, it's the one genre, it's the one film series like that genre that I'm just like, this isn't for me. I watched the Sonic trailer for Netflix, which, I mean, great idea for them. I mean, the movies have been received very, very well, so I think that for them it's going to be good. They released another Halloween trailer, which I haven't kind of sat in depth with yet, because everything was coming out at that point, and I was just like, oh God, I'll get to one of these eventually, but I was able to get to pretty much, I got to Sonic, and I was able to get to Hellraiser.
Okay.
And I haven't been able to watch Halloween.
Well, the Halloween trailer was, yesterday, but still really good trailer. I was absolutely blown away with how good that trailer is. What are you laughing at over there?
Zero in the chat. He's gonna duct tape me and Dan the chairs and make him watch these movies.
I don't blame him. I don't fucking blame him, actually. Like, I would do that too. But the Halloween trailer was really good. They put out a behind-the-scenes thing too. Actually, one of my favorite YouTubers, Jimmy Champagne, did a whole thing too, talking about the radio tower and the significance of it. We find out from Halloween Kills, the radio tower, and the flashbacks of Halloween 1978, that there's someone that's been living in the radio tower. I'm not gonna spoil it, like, for anybody who doesn't want to watch it or anybody who wants to know. Y'all can head over to Jimmy Champagne's YouTube page. Cheap plug for Jimmy Champagne. He's a dude who, just like me, loves horror movies and loves everything about it. I was thoroughly impressed with him, like, in the videos he's been doing on this. He's been on top of everything. There's a few people who spoiled the movies. We think we know what's going to happen at the end of the movie. I think it's a fitting end if it is what I think it is, which would be fantastic. Halloween in general is just one of those franchises that is really touching. Okay, cool. Guys, our guest is on his way. We're a couple minutes behind, which is good. I was also just called Brand by Lloyd Kaufman's assistant. I am the Brand. Brandhausen.
Hello, Brand.
Hello, Brand. So perfect. I just got it to him. Lloyd's on his way. He's going to be a couple minutes late. I apologize. That's okay, though, because it's Lloyd fucking Kaufman. If he wanted to show up at 3 a.m., I would have been here for it.
Of course.
Anyway, guys, I want to let you know, unfortunately, tonight we're not going to be able to take questions from the first guest, but please, everything you guys send, I am going to send over and see if I can get a video done with Lloyd after the fact. Dan and I have friends who have worked for Troma for many years. We have met the Troma guys at every show we've been to around the country, and they are some of the most wonderful, lovely people. It sucks that we only have Lloyd for 30 minutes tonight, but Lloyd is a very busy man. Like, let me tell you, when we start talking to Lloyd Kaufman and you see the resume that this man holds, this man has been creating independent film for 20 plus years, or 50, almost 50 plus years, 20. This man is one of the cornerstones of horror and comedy. He's been in everything from Rocky. He edited that movie. He worked on Saturday Night Fever. Like, Lloyd Kaufman is literally like, God, man, like, he's one of my personal heroes. So, like, the fact that I have the opportunity tonight, like, for those of you who've seen the Toxic Crusaders cartoons and you've seen the Troma version of the DVD, I'm gonna pop Lloyd with a little something tonight, and I'm gonna keep it quiet for you guys, just so that way you can see everything and see it live as we do it. But we're very excited to have Lloyd Kaufman here. Talk Toxic Crusaders, talk take a shot. Shakespeare Shitstorm, Class of Nukem High, Troma War, everything that Lloyd has worked on. For those of you who've also seen Guardians of the Galaxy and Suicide Squad, he is in both of those movies. Lloyd is a phenomenal human being. He does a lot of great in the community, and just, dude, independent films are his shit. Are you guys in the chat excited? Like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm very fucking excited. Like, I get to show him my Radiation Ranger tattoo. I'm stoked. This is gonna be wild, bro. I found this on the web. Oh, Siri. Anyway, while we're waiting, so let's talk about Hellraiser here just for a couple minutes. That Hellraiser trailer was wild, and I'm not a big fan of the original Hellraiser either. It was like half like skinned people having sex.
Ugh.
Like,
that's the thing that I find disturbing.
I'm sorry, they call Clive Barker the master of horror, but the only good horror movie he ever made was Nightbreed.
Exactly.
You want to talk about the master of horror, and I'm ready for this in the chat? John Carpenter. Say it with me now. John Carpenter. Oh my God.
Wes Craven too.
No,
though.
yeah, Wes Craven too. You know, but what I'm gonna say is if you haven't watched that Hellraiser trailer, it was cool. It was. I'm actually interested. The chick playing Hellraiser looks like a girl I dated in college too. There, I said it. Ugh. Huh. If y'all want to fight Billy, by all means, Zero's going to make snacks. Let's do it. I'm ready. That Hellraiser trailer was cool, but one thing we kind of skipped over as PC gamers is the NVIDIA presser today. Smallz, you watched it.
Yeah, so I didn't watch the full thing. I kind of came into it as much as I can barely understand what the fuck he's talking about. It was being streamed on XQC's Twitch to 90,000 plus people at once. But there's a lot of cool shit going on. I didn't see anything involving any TI editions at the moment. Price point isn't terrible. The 4080 is going to be $899, and then the 4090 is $1,500 or $1,600.
Yeah, just basically a mortgage payment or a rent payment. That's fine.
Yeah,
you don't need a house to play your PC.
Yeah, you can put it in a van.
Yeah, you can play it in a van with no gas.
Yeah, because you spent all of it on a GPU. But one of the coolest things I did see during the conference itself was breathe, honey.
All right, let's...
was they have something called the RTX Remix, which is coming out, which is basically, from what I understand of it, is you can play an older game or even a current game run it through this program, and it basically will update and upscale and add ray tracing in real time to the game. And then you basically play it back into the game file, open it up like normal, and then the whole game is basically having ray tracing and more physically tangible assets added in game in real time.
Interesting.
And it also includes adding in mods in real time through this program, from what I understand. But they did a demo with it with Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, which even the small bit that they showed of even like candlelight going across a ceiling, like going from where it was to what it is going through Remix, it's a noticeable difference. It looks really, really cool.
Okay, so how old of games can we play on this?
That they didn't really say. They just said games in general. I don't have any more information beyond that. But they also casually mentioned that the 4090 would be able to process 16K video.
Ooh.
Because the only people that would need that would be Elon Musk or fucking Tesla or like NASA.
All right. Guys, unfortunately, I've got a little bit of bad news. There was a schedule shift, and unfortunately, Lloyd is not going to be able to make it tonight. But what I have been promised is that we are going to be able to have Lloyd for a future interview, a future episode. I guess there was a production shift this evening. I do apologize. As the guy who books this show, you know, it really stinks that it comes down to this last minute, unfortunately. But I do know that Lloyd is working on multiple productions right now on top of, you know, being retired. So this isn't something that we really had the opportunity to change. I did get an apology from the Troma guys, and they wanted to let you know that we are going to have Lloyd in the near future. I do have some dates available that I'm going to talk to them about, but I promise you guys, we still got a good show lined up, plain and simple. Top of the hour, Rebecca's going to be joining us to talk about D23, but let's go further into everything that we've been talking about. Everybody's having a good time. It wouldn't be a live podcast if things didn't go wrong.
If things went right, I'd be more worried.
Yeah, I would be more worried if things went right too. I'm really bummed about it, but you know what? Garrett is going to make this work for us. I want to give a big shout out to Garrett and Gideon, who are Lloyd's assistants. They were totally accountable about this, and I really appreciate them for being so open about this. So I apologize, but this is going to be moved in the future. That is okay. We're still here in Tromaville. We're still going to have fun. You know, I can still sit here and talk about Toxic Avenger.
I know you can.
You know, we had this whole great episode planned out, and I pulled this out of my case, actually. This is one of the rare figures I own. I pulled out an original complete Toxie. Like, this came right off card when I bought it. So I'm going to say this. Just because, in honor of Lloyd, even though he's not going to be here tonight. What's that, Toxie? Lloyd can't make it. That's okay. We'll have Lloyd on another time. If you've ever seen the Toxic Crusader cartoons, you know why that's funny. Okay, guys, we're going to go to our first break of the night. Hang tight. We're going to be back right around 8:45, maybe a couple seconds sooner. Hang with us, and we'll go from there. We will be right back with you guys. Stay tuned. It's The Brand Show Live. So I said to him, chicken and sadness.
And I said, use a bitch.
Welcome back to the Brand Show, guys. We are still live. We are still here. So, guys, good news. We are going to have another guest this evening. Steve Archer from Hey Archer is going to be joining us.
Hey.
Hold on.
Oop.
Hold on.
Holding.
Smallz, you talk.
Hi, everyone. How you doing? Hi. So to jump back into the news with a lot of shit we're talking about, there's a lot to go over.
Yeah.
Billy has his thoughts on Modern Warfare 2 beta, which is that still live? Because I haven't even had a chance to play it.
Did I play what?
I know you played the Modern Warfare 2.
Oh yeah,
beta.
the Modern Warfare 2 beta.
Still live, or was it just for the weekend?
You know what? I tried to play it earlier today, and I didn't have the ability to log in. Now, mind you, I only got to play 3 matches, and they were in this art gallery. But it was awesome. It was very fast paced.
I'd like to play it. I'm gonna wait until it's on sale at some point because I've given up all hope on Call of Duty at launch.
I'm buying it for you as a late birthday gift, so you can shut up.
God damn it.
But anyway, just for those of you who are esports people and just fans of Modern Warfare, really fun, really good, good setup. Feels really good. It's fast paced. Loadouts are good. I didn't play enough of it really to say, it was great. But there is actually Michael J. Fox said it in the chat. There is another beta this weekend, so be prepared.
I'm busy this weekend.
Well, of course you're busy every weekend.
I'm sorry, man. Bands need photos. I'm sorry.
Yeah, here, hold on. He's right here. Hey, Chris, it's every fucking band in the universe asking you to shoot 400 festivals.
I'm sorry that NoFX is like, hey, you want to get free beer and shoot.
I don't know. I do it for free weed, not beer.
Well, I mean, it's a craft beer and punk festival. What do you want?
Oh, you're doing
Drunk in public. Not drunk in public.
Punk and Drublic? Yeah, there we go.
Yes. So I'm shooting that this weekend. And then I apparently now have plans for my birthday, which is in 2 weeks, which I wasn't expecting. I'm shooting Gaslight Anthem in Boston.
That sounds cool.
Which I was not expecting. It'll be my first time going to the new MGM at Fenway as well, which I've heard rave reviews about. And they have some of the best shows coming to Boston the next couple of months. Because they have Lamb of God coming this week with Killswitch Engage.
Ooh.
They have Amon Amarth and Carcass. They have Bruno Mars was just there last weekend. Merciful Fate is doing their first tour in 2 decades there.
Fucking love Merciful Fate.
With Creator. There's a lot going on there. But that'll be cool. So I have that going on. And then, yeah. I have never had a chance to see Killswitch Rocket Wolf. I've had tickets to see them multiple times, and I've had to bail every time, like day of. It makes me very sad.
You're gonna enjoy them live, but let's get back to this too, because we got a busy week coming up now. I know you guys got some shows coming up this week. I've actually got nothing this week, so maybe I'll stream later in the week. I don't know. But Smallz, you're on Hey Archer Live this week, aren't you?
I am. As far as I know, yes, I will confirm with him live on the air. But as far as I know, I'm going to be there on Thursday.
8:15-ish.
8:15-ish. There you go. But yeah, I think we're just talking music, which is actually perfect timing because another thing I added in here to the script as well. Metal Hellsinger finally came out. Which, if you don't know, if you are familiar with the game Bullets Per Minute, it is a rhythm-based first-person shooter where there is a lot of members of the metal community that are guest vocaling all of the songs. So the music itself is written by Two Feathers, which is the production company.
Wait, the name of the company is Two Feathers?
Two Feathers.
So, like, if they were rappers, they'd have to throw up 2 feathers and say their name? Kind of like
so that's going to do it for the show tonight, guys. We will see you next week with Bobby Valla.
Oh, that's a good one.
But yes, I mean, there is a ton of artists that are in this game. You have the singer from Ginger. You have Soilwork. You have Serge Tankian of System of a Down. You have Matt Heafy of Trivium. Alyssa from Arch Enemy. You have Randy Blythe from Lamb of God is in there. You have Dark Tranquility. There is a ton in there, and it's basically Doom meets Guitar Hero or Rock Band.
I mean,
so you have to shoot, reload, and attack.
It sounded good until you said Alyssa White-Glees.
Okay, well, she's not a playable character. She's literally lending her voice.
Yeah, but I just can't stand her.
And neither can I, but
I can't stand. And you know what? I'm related to people in this band, but I can't stand Doyle Wolfgang von Frankenstein from the Misfits either. There, I said it.
I don't think most people can.
Oh, he is insufferable.
I know.
Dad's just like, brah.
But if you are into either metal music or first-person shooters, or you like games that are in the vein of Doom or Quake or anything like that, do yourself a favor. Go pick up Metal Hellsinger. It is free on Game Pass on PC and Xbox, or if you do not have it on PlayStation or Steam, it is on sale for $40.
Okay, well, I'm definitely going to check that out once we get off the air. I
have been addicted to it for the last 48 hours.
Since we're talking about video games, and that's really cool, I downloaded Disney Dreamland thanks to Zero. I don't even know what it is. I just downloaded it. I was like, I turned on my Xbox.
You see what you've caused, Zero? You see what you've done?
Yeah, you dick.
This man used to play BioShock, and now he's playing Disney Crossing.
Oh my! Being domesticated that has done it.
Domesticated. I'm far from domesticated. Someone's
Sound it out.
Whoring again. Oh my god! So anyway, what songs are in this game? Go back to it for a minute.
So it's all original music written by the people that made the game, but the vocalists are lending their vocals to the game. So the more and more you progress through the game and keep everything on beat, because on the reticle there is like a going time signature beat, like a conductor would do, to the beat of the song. So everything involving movement, attacking, reloading, shooting, everything is on beat. So if you're able to keep a beat to everything going on screen, you build up your damage multiplier, you bring in more elements of the song, because originally it's just basically a drum beat. And then eventually, once you hit like a 16 times multiplier, you're looking at the vocals, the arrangement, the whole song comes to fruition. And then there's like a boss fight, and it's this whole thing, and it's super fucking dope. I actually heard about this game probably like a year or so ago through Matt Heafy, because he was the first one to be like, hey, this is a thing that's coming out. And then I knew it was coming, but not this soon. And then all of a sudden I saw it and I was like, done, give me it. Because I've been looking forward to it. Because I actually have Bullets Per Minute, which is a game my friend of mine, Lauren, gifted me through one of her charity streams. And it's very much in the same vein as that. But that game is just pure chaos, because your weapon merchant is a giant chicken that just breakdances to pop music. And I wish I was kidding. It is hilarious. What? There's no like story. You're just in. Remember that old Windows 95 screensaver, and it was like the first person maze? It's basically that with like guitar driven pop music, and then your weapon merchant is just a giant dancing chicken. And then you're fighting like ghosts and ghouls in hallways.
Oh my god.
And like giant flying ants.
But
the chicken is just like, yo, you need a shotgun? Come holler at your boy.
And then he's like,
he literally is just he's like hitting the nene and shit, but it's just a giant like anthropomorphic chicken that's like the size of the fucking room.
So wait, he whips and nenes?
Yeah.
Chicken
to an extent, I mean, it's a fucking chicken. It looks basically like a breakdancing chocobo.
Somebody buy me this fucking game immediately. I'll stream it Friday. My gosh.
It's basically a breakdancing chocobo with bullets.
That's just...
Please don't spit your drink on your computer.
Oh god, I couldn't do that. Rebecca would kill me because I'd be like, "Honey, I'm going to Micro Center," and I'd be dead.
Yeah, and then you would be playing with your 4090 in the back of a truck with no gas.
You're right. All right, guys, hang tight. We're going to get our guests in for the top of the hour here. We're going to talk some D23, all the announcements, everything like that with our resident Disney expert, Miss Brancho herself, Rebecca Nichols, and Steve Archer from Hey Archer Live is going to be joining us. Hang tight. You're live with the Branch Show. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Brand Show. As you know, we had some scheduled guests. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get Lloyd Kaufman tonight due to a scheduling conflict. But how sweet it is to be loved by you nerds. Ladies and gentlemen, our first guest tonight, he is the very handsome, the very mustached, the very purple lit Steve Archer from Hey Archer Live and Nerd Affiliated. What's up, Steven?
Good. I'm always thrown off when you start off with those compliments. I'm thinking you talk about somebody else.
Brother, I'm always putting
thank
you
you
over. You know how it goes. Hey, so from what I understand, you're going to be live at 8:15ish this Thursday with Mr. Chris Small.
1/3 of the Brand Show will be on the show this Thursday.
What are you talking about? He's 99% of the show. I'm just here.
99% of the Brand Show will be on this Thursday.
That is an erroneous statement, and I will not take it.
Absolutely an erroneous statement, but I'll allow it. Next, this young lady, she deals with me on a day-to-day basis. She deals with insane amounts of packages. She deals with my bullshit, my friends sleeping at the house, and my terrible, awful gas. She is the beautiful mother of a French bulldog that I share with her by the name of Maggie Ray, because we are Simpsons and Star Wars fans in this house. She is also my hetero life mate. Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Brancho herself making her first Brand Show appearance. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, Rebecca Nichols.
I mean, it might be my last. So. You never know.
Well, thanks for deciding to come on the show, because I know you wanted to talk about Disney D23, and you know what? I've always said that you're great with this stuff, and you never listen to me. And I'm always so sad that you don't listen to me. Show that mug, by the way, because my mom gave us that mug with a fuck here and a fuck there. Here a fuck, there a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I never use that mug, but I just think it's the funniest thing because it says fuck more times in a fucking second than I say fuck on a show. Anyway.
I need that on a hoodie.
You do. And then you could have just a big giant eggplant in the middle of it. It'll be great. Steve, by the way, your mustache looks fantastic. But, guys, we're not here to talk about Steve's mustache and why my wife is the greatest woman on the face of the planet.
But why not?
Because those two things are already clearly defined. We're here to talk about D23. So, Rebecca, D23 was this past week. And
no, it was last week.
Last week.
Was it last week or the week
yes,
before?
Yes, it was last week. So this.
Yeah, come on, Bill. Keep up.
This past week.
Cough.
And
no, I'm pretty sure it was the week before, but I don't
really follow Disney. That's your thing. Like, you just come running into the basement like a child who just jumped out of the pool to tell me that his father is having sex with his secretary. My dad has a second girlfriend, and then jumps back in the pool.
What?
It was. It's that weird. It's that weird kid at the community pool. If you haven't
No.
seen the meme, yeah,
No.
You were
Shut
that
up.
kid at the weird
No.
community pool, weren't you?
No, I was
That's
not.
never fucking happened in existence.
I had a
I don't know
pool.
why the fuck you brought that up.
I had a pool. That's why. Anyway,
Ugh.
but anyway,
so
so
many
I'm
questions.
seeing in the chat that it was 2 weeks ago. You're right. Obviously we haven't been live for a month, unfortunately. But so without like going into everything, tell me, we're talking D23. What did you see? What did you like? What is on your mind about D23? And where did you get those wonderful Christmas lights?
Thanks, Zoom. It's a Zoom filter.
It's very nice.
Okay, so obviously I got all my information from like TikTok and Disney Plus.
Valid
because,
sources.
Yep, totally. It's like Wikipedia. But so what I really you and I sort of sat on the couch and watched like the recap with those like annoying.
Hey guys, what's going on? We're in Disney costumes. Here's another trailer.
Like basically, it was like,
Guys, it's Disney!
no, but it was
I
they were just
literally
really
the whole
annoying
time
and
I just was
peppy.
like this. Please shut the fuck up and show me the fucking trailer.
No.
You were
So-
testing the suspension of that chair, sir.
You're right, I am. Thanks to Secret Lab for the chair.
So obviously, you know, you're not really into Disney movies. I like Disney movies.
I like,
Um,
yeah.
they're obviously doing a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? They're doing a lot of
Remakes.
live action.
Yeah,
Thank you.
A lot of remakes.
Remakes, a lot of live action movies, and I didn't put this in our like notes to each other, but the one that I'm really looking forward to, but I really don't want them to mess it up, is The Never-Ending Story, but it's not coming out till like 2024. Now, nothing will beat
No
the
horse
original.
death. No horse death.
Well, no, that has to happen.
Oh,
Atreyu
no.
must die.
No,
No.
Atreyu must live.
No,
Fuck that
no.
shit. No.
That traumatized an entire generation.
Listen,
We
like
don't need
and that is exactly why I don't like movies where animals die.
Okay,
No.
but
Like, it
it's just
bothers
one of
me.
those things that like you know, The Never-Ending Story is like a classic. When did it come out? Like 82 or 84?
Do your
One of the
research,
few old
podcaster.
movies I've seen.
Yeah,
It's the only old movie you've seen.
Not true.
but
Lies.
I really look forward to that remake as long as they don't mess it up. And
They will.
then, well, of course they will, because they'll make it family
Disney.
friendly.
No, it's not even that they're gonna. It's the chat is saying 1984. It's not even that they're gonna make it
Okay.
family friendly. It's just the internet is gonna do what the internet does and ruin everything. That's the thing. This was my childhood. Why is Disney doing this? Please save us from Disney, Emperor Donald Trump. That's what the internet's gonna do. Kind of with and with
No politics.
No, well,
None.
we're not gonna talk politics. But they showed a trailer from The Little Mermaid, and what did you see that it also has the most dislikes in the history of YouTube?
Well,
Because
and that wasn't.
That's another thing. Like, and that's Disney in general with their remakes, because everybody's mad that things aren't the way it was when they were a kid,
Yeah.
or they're just straight out racist. Let's be realistic.
That's
Well,
most of it.
No, I mean, I think people. All right, so that was one of the things I wanted to talk about was the new Little Mermaid movie, which I'm actually really excited to. I'm really excited about seeing. I think that that's going to be a lot of fun, just sort of seeing it in a live action. But people are, you know, their panties are all up in a bunch about Haley Bailey or Haley whatever. Haley Bailey. I think that's how you say it.
It is Haley Bailey.
Haley Bailey being African American black. They're so upset about it, and I can't. Like mermaids, I was watching a TikTok about how mermaids don't necessarily have a color. They're trying to be like, well, when Hans Christian Andersen, wrote about the Little Mermaid, it takes place in Denmark. Okay, and so I think people are just like offended that she's not white with red hair. And bright red hair, may I add. But I think it's going to be awesome. I think she's going to do awesome. I'm already like in awe of her beautiful voice of that little singing clip.
That was cool.
Yeah.
And then I love watching the TikToks of like little Black girls watching her in awe and being like, oh my God, I just don't have Tiana anymore. I have the Little Mermaid that almost represents me. And I think representation matters. So honestly, I can't I'm excited to see it. And someone wrote in the chat, mermaids aren't real. They're not real. So it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Are black or white.
Hey, wait.
Doesn't matter.
Who wrote mermaids aren't real in the chat?
0 hour.
Oh, that's
zero.
Zero. That's our mod. That's Jason or Jay.
Yeah.
There's
That's
so
one of
many
the Jays.
videos out there saying like, oh, it's not like a real mermaid. And you go, mermaids don't exist, you donut.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
Yeah.
what are you basing it off of? A made-up movie written in the 50s?
Yeah.
Stop it.
And you know what's really sad about it too is I'm gonna throw this to Mr. Hey Archer here in a second because he's patiently waiting for the microphone to go silent so he can say something interesting, and then I'll tell you right now.
Token.
I think Hailey Bailey's gonna kill it as the Little Mermaid. I could care less about Disney movies, but you know what, for little kids, I'm stoked that these kids have something. You know what, they all do. Everybody deserves to have a hero, and Marvel needs to pay Steve Archer for Miles Morales. I've been saying that for months. I'm staying on that bandwagon. But for me, the one big problem I had with this was the color of her hair. I wanted it to be that bright red, but I also thought the color grading was a little off, and maybe that's just the photographer and videographer in me, but that's my only problem. I don't care. And I will openly say this. When they made Samuel L. Jackson Nick Fury, didn't care. Thought it fucking ruled because Samuel L. Jackson is the man. I don't care that they're making this character a different color. I don't care if you're taking liberties with a fantasy character. First and fucking foremost, it's fucking fiction, you fucking twats. Get over it. Back to you, Steve.
But hold on. It's not even that, Billy. It's just the fact that people are their panties are like literally up their ass.
What it is white people have to have everything or they can't have anything.
I know.
Let's just call it what it is.
No, okay. There you go. But
all right.
That's the movie I'm really looking forward to seeing. I can't wait to hear the music. I've always loved The Little Mermaid, even though when it came out in like 94, 93, I don't know.
When they put a cock on the cover.
I was like 13, 14, but I still loved that movie. Like I still really loved, I love Disney movies. Okay. That's it for Little Mermaid. I'm looking forward to 89. Thank you. I was young.
Moving on, Steve. Steve, you've been just sitting here patiently waiting, eating hummus, looking handsome, worrying people that you were dying because of something you wrote on Instagram. Let me ask you, man, representation is seriously important. And we can sit here and we can talk about it, but we're 4 white kids. Like sitting here and hearing our opinion is one thing, but hearing it from someone of color, hearing how, someone feels about representation in a situation like this is very important. And, your opinion is just as valid as everyone else's. There's no argument there, obviously. But I want to hear from you. What do you think about this?
Yeah. First, I want to make a editor's note. The horse was Artax in Neverending Story.
Oh, shoot. Who did I say? Atreyu?
Yes.
That's a band.
That's a band.
But that's also the name of the character. That's the character
character.
Yeah. Artax was Atreyu's horse.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Atreyu was the boy.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
I forget the name of the boy who was actually reading it, but anyway.
Oh, it was like Ben or something. Benjamin?
Yeah. Something like that. It's crazy how old those movies are. Like looking them up to comment, I'm like, holy shit! Like those are old
Atreyu
movies.
was his owner.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
He was also bleeding mascara.
And then the
on
nothing.
The right side of the bed.
I'm so curious how they're going to do the nothing because that was the one that scared me the most.
Well, I mean, even continuing on that movie, I combine the two actually in my issue. One, I will say, yes, representation matters. I'm all for it. I always give the example that in wrestling, my two moments where I was like, oh, wow, I could do that too, were Savio Vega and then when Ahmed Johnson debuted. I was like, oh, wow, like somebody who looks somewhat like me
The master
is
of the
wrestling
Pearl River Plunge.
these. Yeah, they're wrestling people that I watch every day that I have toys of, but none of the toys look like me. So 1,000%, it matters.
Absolutely, man. That's how heroes are made, man.
Yeah.
Hell
My
yeah.
issue is the remake thing. I'm just tired of remakes. So when Little Mermaid, when they showed it, I was like, damn it, another remake. And then when I saw the hate, I was like, well, I hate you guys more. So now I like the movie.
Yeah, and people are just, and Dan's strangely quiet over there. Like, yeah, I get the whole being sick of remakes thing. Honestly, for me, like, video game remakes are cool, but yeah, I'm getting sick of remade movies. Like, stop. Like, I think my favorite Dan line, especially with remakes, and Dan, I'm going to steal the spotlight off you on this one for a second here. 3 words.
Oh, you
or
asked
four-
me to comment, and then you're gonna.
Well, all right, then I will let
Classic
you do
Billy.
it. Dan, Nightmare on Elm
Yes.
Street 2011. Exact thoughts, please.
Piece of shit.
Thank you.
I mean, but no, I'm not.
That was 3 words.
I'm not saying. I'm not saying that. I think that Disney, like, I don't have a problem with the casting choice at all. But I am just sick to death of them not being like, let's do something different. It's like they already have an animated version of this, which is an all-time classic. Same thing with The Lion King. Same thing with Beauty and the Beast. These films are timeless.
Right, but I think what they're doing, Dan,
Go ahead.
I think that, sorry to interrupt, but
Sorry.
I think what they're trying to do is take those classic movies and make them into live action movies. They did it with Cinderella, they did it with Beauty and the Beast, they did it with Pinocchio, they're doing it with Little Mermaid, they did it with The Lion King.
Yeah.
They're going to be doing it for obviously The Little Mermaid. They're doing it for Snow White. They did it for when the Maleficent, whatever.
Maleficent.
Sleeping, Melissa, I can't say that word, but sorry, whatever,
It's
something.
okay.
But they did that like with the Sleeping Beauty movies. So I feel like they're doing this because it brings in more money, and they're money hungry. They're a money hungry company.
It's Disney. They own a
it's
third of
Disney.
the planet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's
Disney
the thing.
Disney owns everything, and you know what? They have 2 streaming services in Hulu. Actually, 3. They have ESPN Plus, Disney Plus, and Hulu.
They own Hulu?
They do own
Yeah,
Hulu. Yes.
They do own Hulu.
I did not know that.
They now just bought 20th Century
National
Fox.
Geographic.
They
National Geographic
Oh,
too.
that,
yeah, National
National I
Geographic as
knew.
well. But there's just so much going on within that company now, guys. I'm gonna pose this question, and I'm gonna relate what Beck is saying to horror movies. Okay, we've all seen Halloween in one way or another, right? How many different
yes.
fucking timelines are there in Halloween?
6,000.
How
I've
many of
lost
them?
track.
How many of them suck? All except for one. The only timeline.
5,999.
The only timeline that matters in Halloween right now is the correction of that they've done with Halloween 1, Halloween 18, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends. In my personal opinion, I would have kept in Michael and Laurie being brother and sister. Halloween 2 would have been canonical. That's me. But the fact of the matter is that the amount of reboots they're doing, and honestly, when we're going to get deeper into this as we get into D23, and we've got a lot to cover, so let's cut everything on the remakes here, because we could sit here all night and debate how remakes are good or bad or ugly. But the fact of the matter is Disney's biggest problem right now is that Disney literally is throat fucking us with content. Okay, and I will openly say that
that's a visual. That's
that is a
aggressive.
disgusting visual, literally. But the problem is that literally Mickey Mouse now owns like 95% of the shit I like. They're trying to take American Dad off of fucking Hulu. They're taking
Dan is
Family Guy
banned
off
from the
of Hulu.
chat.
Dan is
Dan is
never.
banned from
Dan is
camera.
not banned from anything.
Honey.
Honey.
But what I think is happening is that we know that Walt Disney was a racist,
Yes,
anti-Semitic piece of shit.
He's a cunt.
So what do
Fuck
we
Walt
do?
Disney.
No. So what they're doing is they're
Fuck
taking.
Walt Disney.
Okay, but All I'm saying is that
Wanna
they're
be a
taking
star,
these
don't you?
characters and they're expanding. They're not looking at like Snow White. The new Snow White is Hispanic. She is Latina. And so I think that is something that is so different than what
It's
Walt
great.
Disney envisioned.
It's fantastic that they're literally
great.
it's great that they're destroying the legacy of a guy who bought books from Hans Christian Andersen, and that some dickhead is now mad that Christopher Robin left Winnie the Pooh and Tigger 2 behind and is doing a horror movie with a fat guy as Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, dude,
But-
don't even get me started on that.
well,
that
we're
that
gonna-
shit is horrifying.
We're gonna
looks
cover
hilarious.
Blood and Honey next episode. Don't you worry.
Oh.
But listen, my point is that Disney has ran out of ideas, and
Yeah, and they're
moving
just
on,
bringing back the classics to
so
modernize it for a new
moving-
generation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, that's
And that's
exactly
all I'm
what they're
saying.
doing.
Before
That's
we-
all they're doing. Okay, wait,
Before
hold
we
on.
spend the next hour on remakes.
All right, can I
because-
move on? I'm gonna move on.
Yeah, you're moving on.
Excuse me. I'm moving on.
Let's do it. Ready? Come on, everybody.
All
Move
right.
on. Come on, move on.
Let's. Shh. So the next thing I wanted to talk about from D23 is that there's a few. They're doing Percy Jackson and the Olympians, which is, to me, I love the first Percy Jackson movie. The books are great. They're a great kid series, like a young adult series, and I do like the books. However, Logan Lerman, who was Percy Jackson in the first set of movies, back in like early 2000, like 2013 or 12 or whatever, he was by far my favorite Percy Jackson. They're really trying to get the younger kids really interested in reading, like Harry Potter was, to, you know, the movies were the books, the everything. So I can see why they went with a very young cast to redo Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Another, and that's going to be a show on Disney Plus. So it's going to be
it's
like,
not a movie; it's a show.
it's not a movie, it's a show.
So is it a whole new story? Is it a whole new storyline? 'Cause
no.
I didn't see anything about Percy Jackson.
No. It's not. It's based on the book, honey.
Okay, I read the
Alright.
books when I was a kid. Those were cool.
Yeah, and so then the next, we're just specifically talking about
Take a
Disney.
shot.
It would be the National Treasure, the new
Ooh.
series. That's going to be a new series, whole new cast, which is fine. I love the National Treasure movies.
Hi, Dan. Dan, you've
Dan,
got to
you have
unmute
something,
your mic.
you're on mute.
Except Harvey Keitel, he's coming back.
So
Oh,
wait a
yes,
minute,
Harvey Keitel
Nicolas Cage isn't coming back?
No.
Boo. Dan and I are big Nicolas Cage fans.
Well, I don't say never. You never
He
know.
took his face off.
You never know, honey. That totally can be
You know-
in a
No
in-
more drugs for that guy.
Listen.
Right. Okay.
Listen, you
I'm
know who
sober tonight,
you,
too.
you know who I want to see. You know who I want to see in a Disney movie. Just before we move on from this, is Kurt Fuller. Fight me. I want Kurt Fuller in everything.
I don't know who that is.
Kurt Fuller was Russell in Wayne's World, and he's also the evil Titan in No Holds Barred, amongst other things.
Also locked up the Ghostbusters.
He
and
locked up the
2
Ghostbusters
had him
because
committed.
He-Man rules.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay,
All
and
of this
then
is way over my head.
finally, the movie that you have never seen that is coming out next week on Disney Plus, Hocus Pocus 2.
Yeah, Hocus Pocus.
But you've never seen the first one, so
Neither
you're
have I.
Yeah, Smallz.
Shame.
Rebecca,
Shame.
Smalls hasn't seen anything. Smalls has seen the backside of his asshole 3 times
What?
in his life, but he hasn't seen.
That's
Steve,
fair.
have you
But-
seen it?
But he hasn't seen The Godfather.
Steve, have you seen Hocus Pocus?
No.
Sure.
Hold the fuck up. I had to watch The Godfather 1, 2, and 3 on repeat in high school for a class. You watch your fucking mouth.
And 2 of the 3 of those are the greatest movies of all time. You prick.
True.
Eh.
Don't me.
Well, thank you
This
guys
is
for
the-
tuning into the
Me.
Brand Show. This will be the end of our run as a podcast with Smalls.
This is
Hey,
listen,
I
the fact
respect
that
what they
you
did.
have
I didn't
not
like them.
No, the fact that you have not sat down for 90 minutes, it's literally, I think it's even less than 90 minutes. That movie is amazing. Hocus Pocus, the original one. I am looking forward to the new one because it's Sarah Jessica Parker, Bette Midler, and Kathy Najimy. And they are so awesome. And they're bringing back like the idea of the black candle and Binks. And I don't think Binks is going to be there, but there is like a black cat somewhere in the movie. But I'm sad that they didn't bring back more of the original cast. I'm glad it's
did
like
my favorite comeback. Did Carrie Bradshaw come back?
yes,
Yes.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
I honestly think also she probably deserves top billing because she's a bigger draw right now than Bette Miller. And I mean, Kathy the Jitty's hasn't done anything in 25 years. Let's face it. It's like she's waiting for a phone to ring. Oh, yeah, I'll do it. Why not?
All right. Well,
But I feel like anytime, like especially in October when they do the 25 days or not, I don't know if it's like it's not 31 days to.
Yeah, like
No,
Fox
they
and
sort of
ABC,
cut it.
like,
No, they cut it. Yeah.
X amount of
it's
days
like-
of Halloween.
Yeah, so they do I don't think it's 31. I think they cut it down to like 25 or whatever. But they do like a Halloween movie every day, but on Halloween it is always Hocus Pocus. It's almost like the Christmas Story that's always October 31st, and it's constantly played throughout the whole entire day. So the fact that they're coming out with this movie at the literally next Friday, I have to make you sit and watch the original.
I will watch it
before we watch Hocus Pocus 2.
I will watch it. Listen,
it's filmed in Salem and in Rhode Island.
In my defense, every time I've tried to sit down and watch that movie, I either had a baby because of the girl that I was sitting next to, or a fire alarm went off, or Phil Meyer broke into the room complaining about something happening when I was at Dan's, or somebody
Don't put this on me.
or somebody farted and I had to leave the room because it smelled and it was me. But anybody else in this that really Steve, Smallz, have you guys seen Hocus Pocus? I know Smallz hasn't seen anything, so I'm not even going to bother you. Shut up, you.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I mean, I thought it was required viewing for all of you Massachusetts that you have to watch that because it's filmed
right.
here.
Clearly not.
Steve.
Massachusetts.
I'm not even
Steve,
going to get into
Massholes.
that one on Boston-based movies I haven't seen because I will be exercised from this entire communication.
Smallz, we could do an entire podcast episode on movies you haven't seen.
That's not a terrible idea, in all honesty.
You know, there's a show called The Movies That Made Us. We could do a show called The Movies That Didn't Make Smallz.
That would be a
be
24-hour stream.
It could be
an
an 8-part documentary series about the movies that Smallz don't know.
I know movies, I just don't see them.
Smallz, have you ever seen Nosferatu?
Yeah.
Okay, you got 1 point.
They're coming out with a new one.
Yes.
With
And
William Dafoe.
We will get to that because I'm excited about that. But D23, there's a lot you put in this chat, and we got to get back to it because we're going to be here all night if we don't. Let's talk about next. Fantastic Four was officially announced. John Krasinski officially brought on as Mr. Fantastic. I'm going to leave that. First of all, that's great casting in my eyes. That's fan service. But I'm going to leave it to the Marvel junkie here, besides myself. As we lead this one off. Hey, Acha!
Well, I was going to say, does Dan want to go first on this one? Because
Dan's just like, fuck John Krasinski because he hates The Office.
No, it has nothing to do with that. It's just the fact that they've done Fantastic Four like 4 times in the last 30 years, and they've all sucked.
Okay, but
every single one of them.
In Marvel's defense, it wasn't Marvel that did them. It was Fox and Searchlight Studios.
I know, but still,
Okay, Dan, the first 3 Spider-Man movies sucked too, but every Gen Z jacks off to them.
The first 2 were very good. The third one blew.
I like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I hated Sam Raimi's Spider-Man.
What is
You're
wrong
so
with
full
you?
of shit.
Why?
You're so
What is
full
wrong
of
with
shit.
you?
Are you excommunicado from your own podcast?
You're
Sure.
so full of shit. He's full of shit.
I'm going to get into this for a second here because this is actually important. Yeah, when I was younger, I liked him, and then I read John Romita's run of Spider-Man and realized how inaccurate and stupid they were.
And they say that a hero.
and also, fuck Nickelback.
Fuck you. Nickelback's great. I will die on that hill.
Nickelback
Oh
is
my
not
god.
terrible.
Okay, no. I will literally make this a whole stream. Billy, you can judge me in silence and text me all you want. I don't care. I will die on this hill. I will talk about this more on AR Live on Thursday. I like Nickelback. Yeah.
I'll fist bump Chris Smallz on that one. Fist bump.
I just have too much fun hating them.
Both you suck. Anyway, so Fantastic Four,
suck.
Four
All right,
has been
hold on.
announced. We got to keep on script here.
I know. I'm gonna go in order. Okay, so relax. Okay, Fantastic Four. I am looking forward to it. I went to high school with John Krasinski. I know him personally, sort of. Well, no, I do. I went to high school with him. We graduated the same year of high school. I'm not giving you my age. If you know how old John Krasinski is, if you know how old John Krasinski
I'm gonna look it up
is,
now,
then
just-
you
I don't
know, that's
I
my
knew
age.
that was coming.
Shh. So, I am 23, okay? Shut up. 33. No, okay. Okay. So, I went to high school with John Krasinski, so I think he's going to be great in it. And I thought he was great in what was the movie that we saw him in? What movie was he in?
The one with the aliens.
No. Doctor Strange.
Yeah, he was in it for like
Yeah.
10 seconds.
Yeah, but I thought he was great in it.
Okay. Anybody thoughts on Fantastic Four? Who you think the villain is going to be? Rumors are floating right now that it's going to be Victor Von Doom. Very excited
always.
about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, they have no choice.
I mean, you can't start a franchise without. And Steve, you know this. You can't start a franchise without an actual serious villain. I'm seeing Mole Man in the chat. I don't think Mole Man's the right way to go. I think right off the gate, when they did Sam Raimi's garbage ass Spider-Mans, they started out with a Robotech version of Green Goblin. Now don't get me wrong, William Dafoe, excellent as Green Goblin, excellent. Like made the whole movie, but
Willem.
whatever. Willem Dafoe, dick, was fantastic as Green Goblin. I just think the writing could have gone more towards instead of I'm also in the minority that didn't like Evil Dead, so there isn't anything that Sam Raimi has done that I truly like. But I think Willem Dafoe was amazing when he came back for No Way Home as Green Goblin. Loved it. So like what I'm trying to get at really quickly so I can, get back to the script here, is that you have to start out with a serious villain. Like you can't just come. That would be like in wrestling terms, for those of you in the chat who are wrestling fans, that would be like putting Brock Lesnar up against like Zack Ryder when Zack Ryder was in WWE. It would have just been like, oh look, it's the little dude who pretends to be from Jersey Shore and pumps his fist. Oh, he's done. Like you can't put a whole movie on Mole Man. Just like with Daredevil, you couldn't have started out with Stiltman. Stiltman's not a right move. Moving on, Captain America: New World Order, and this is a really interesting topic. I think there's a lot to be said about New World Order. I have an idea of what that storyline might be, and that they might take it a different direction that we're thinking. But I saw Steve smile, so hey,
Okay,
Oz.
there is some controversy with this one though, because of Sabra. Because it's an Israeli actress. She's a Jewish actress. She was actually in a great movie called Unorthodox on Netflix. I can't remember her name exactly. Let me look it up. But there is that she's like the first Jewish superhero. And I thought that was really cool. Other than Moon Knight.
Sabra was a creation by Jack Kirby in the 70s. Predates Moon Knight, but there's some controversy going around with Captain America: New World Order. Nothing to do with Sabra. Yeah, of course, people are going to complain about that. I don't really want to talk about that controversy. I want to talk about what this storyline could be, because this could be the best of the Captain America movies, because from the rumors that we're hearing, it looks like they're going to go with Secret Empire. Thoughts? If you know the Secret Empire storyline, this is what makes it good.
I don't.
Refresh our memories.
Absolutely. So Secret Empire was a storyline where we found out that Steve Rogers, a.k.a. Captain America, was a Hydra sleeper cell.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, and so, I remember when that story came out, everybody was excited about it. And I'll remember this because you and I had this talk. I was in Chicago and I got yelled at by somebody within this community, and I'm gonna openly bury him because I just don't like him. I'm not gonna say names, but I got a phone call from this person screaming at me for liking this story because Jack Kirby was Jewish and Hydra is the Nazis. Kyle, fuck you if you're watching this. That's all I need to say. But the fact of the matter is that Hydra was separated from the Nazis after World War II. Fine. So what? We had a Nazi storyline that was done by a Jewish creator. Joe Simon and Jack Kirby often brought Nazis into their stories. Hydra was meant to be the equivalent in the Marvel universe of that terrorist terrorist country, or that better holier than thou country that wanted to be a thing. And as we have seen throughout the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Hydra has become a huge piece of that, that area. And that one panel where Captain America Steve Rogers, I almost said Steve Archer, issue 1, when he's on the helicopter at the end of it, and he looks over at Daredevil and he goes, "Hail Hydra." People were crying, trying to cancel Marvel, and we're getting very angry about something that is, again, fictional. Shut the fuck up. It's fictional. Captain America's not a Nazi. He's a fictional thing that lives in comic books and movies. He's not a real person. He's not going to come to your house on July 4th and eat cookies and milk. Shut the fuck up, Kyle. Anyway, I think this creates a really interesting storyline. I love Sam Wilson. I loved when they made him Captain America in the comics. Falcon has always been an interesting character. Just a dude who was in the right place at the right time, who was brought into a program within the military. A really interesting character, a really strong side character who became a main character. I love Sam Wilson in the movies. I loved Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Guys. Anyone, Dead Air is bad.
No, I was going to give somebody else a chance. But I'll lead off because I just think I love that storyline. I was pretty sure that's what it was. I'm bad at remembering who writes what and names. I think it's a great storyline. What the series that killed that story was Earth's Mightiest Heroes. They did an arc like that where for an entire season it was I don't think it was a Skrull agent. It was like a clone or something. But it was an entire season where it wasn't the real Cap and you didn't know until afterwards. So I just think that it's poor timing because they haven't built up Steve Rogers again. He's not here. I doing it with Sam Wilson. Are you going to say that it was somebody else during the TV show? I just don't know how they could loop that in without messing it up. I don't trust them.
I mean, it's tough. I don't know how you would do it, but
because the appeal. Remember the appeal of that
Brigade?
Story.
Yeah, but could it be Brigade?
No, but the
Brigade would be an excellent piece to the. No matter what they do, plain and simple, they need to bring in Brigade. Brigade was the forgotten Captain America. I remember when I saw the guy and I saw the shield and I was like, Rebecca, we watched it. And I was like, ooh, I knew who it was. But Steve, since you're guys, Smallz, Dan, have you watched Captain America and the Winter Soldier?
Yeah.
Okay. Dan,
I don't know anything about any of the comic lines or anything of that, but words are hard. I don't know anything beyond the movies. I don't delve into the comics at all, so
okay.
I'm way out of the loop on this. I'm absorbing info.
Okay.
Well, part of the appeal of the reveal that Cap was brainwashed was that it's Captain America. You need him there making decisions. It's all right, you've seen the movies. It's the Thanos thing, right? Thanos is a slow build.
Yeah.
For the wrestling folks in the audience, it's the slow build of, Sting's in the rafters, Sting's over there. Then finally you build to the match. You can't do that story with a reveal of, Captain America was bad secretly this whole time without Captain America being in anything.
So with that being said, we have the multiverse now. We know that phase 4, 5, and 6 are going to be multiverse. I know we all know that because we all saw literally everybody and their mother literally lose their pants when that was announced during San Diego Comic-Con. Dan, I know we talked about this. Chris, we talked about this. Steve, we talked about this on the San Diego Comic-Con episode, the San Diego Comic-Con Hangover. Could they do it where it's a multiverse theory? Before we move on to talk a little bit about Thunderbolts, could they do it?
No.
Rebecca, could they do it? To the handsome man in the top right corner in the straight edge t-shirt, could they do it?
Logically, it's going to be tough.
I thought it was a Super Mario Brothers t-shirt.
No, it's a Karen Punk t-shirt.
Shut the fuck up. Leave the guy alone.
Smallz, could they do it?
No. Not without completely fucking everything up.
You know, honestly, I think the best way they could do it is and they've been introducing it lately, and this is something if you haven't read the comics, you're not going to know, is the multiverse theory. The main Earth in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is Earth 616. If you brought them in from another Earth, or you had an alternate storyline or something like that, or if you literally let Chris Helmsworth and Chris Evans shower.
Evans.
Well, no, I was getting there. Thor comes into this storyline, if you remember, because he becomes worthy of Thor's hammer even as a Hydra agent. But if you literally let them shower in money with strippers and Vegas hookers, they might actually do it. Anyway, I'm sure Tony Khan's got enough money to fund this, so call him if you need money, Disney. But moving on, big topic for me, a really, really good one, Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts was that Suicide Squad version of it was Marvel Suicide Squad, basically. So that team was announced recently. God, I forget who the team was, but I was really, really bummed that they killed Thunderbolt Ross, because Thunderbolt Ross is the Red Hulk. So how the hell are we supposed to get the Thunderbolt? How are we supposed to get Thunderbolt Ross? Also, Michael J. Fox in the chat, Disney is all elite.
Well, he died in real life. It wasn't that they killed him off.
Well, you could easily recast the person with a deep fake. I mean, they did it with Halloween Kills with Sam Loomis. The dude that they cast for Sam Loomis, they literally put a prosthetic here, and then they did a little bit of CGI. If you watch the after effect, you could do that. If you have someone who looks close to him, you can bring back Thunderbolt Ross.
I would love it. I would love if that's a they're not saying anything at the moment. My issue with it is, and I talked about it on this past week's podcast, is that everybody that's in it is supposed to be a villain that's like ambiguous, like they teeter that line, and this is, they're like, oh no, we're gonna help the government on this and do these jobs, but they still want to do bad things. And
so what did Thunderbolt Ross do during Civil War? We've all seen Civil War, right?
Yeah, but the problem is that all the people that are in the Thunderbolts in their respective movies went full good. So that's where it's like,
you're right.
It's not like Suicide Squad.
Ghost went full good. Taskmaster went full good.
Yeah.
By the way,
Red Guardian wasn't even bad, apparently.
Red Guardian was awesome. For the record, totally underrated movie. Black Widow, totally most underrated of the Marvel movies. One of my favorites, truth be told. Love the family dynamic of that movie. Loved everything about it.
Are we not friends anymore?
You didn't like Black Widow? I'm sorry, because I thought the worst Marvel movie was Captain Marvel.
No.
That movie was a shit stain and its worst nightmare.
I actually left that movie not hating it as much as I thought I would.
Well, then, yeah, we're not friends for the next 35, 40 minutes or whatever.
Black Widow. Oh, man.
I love that movie. Anyway, I
enjoyed it.
I dug it. I want to hear from everybody else on this. Where can they go with Thunderbolts? Because the team right now, and for those of you who haven't watched everything that Marvel has put out to make this, it's Taskmaster, who was in Black Widow. It's U.S. Agent, who was in Captain America and the Winter Soldier. So it's, that terrible, it's great value Captain America, as we like to call him. Ghost from the Ant-Man and the Wasp series is in there. She's awesome too. Who else am I missing? Red Guardian, Yolanda, I think that's her name, from Black Widow, and then there's one more. And Rebecca looks confused.
Isn't it the sister?
Yolanda, that's the sister. But there's one more. We got John Walker. But the idea here is, anyway. Go ahead, Beck.
No, is she technically the new Black Widow then?
I don't know. She's not the Black Widow in the comics, though. But the thing about it is that the Thunderbolts in the comic books, what's really missing from this for me, I'm not saying that this cast is bad. What's missing for me is Red Hulk and Punisher, plain and simple. I will say that openly, and I'm still going to watch it.
And Baron Zemo.
And Baron Zemo, thank you. I thought Dan was Googling it over there. He was giving it a heavy Google.
Oh, sorry. Baron Zemo should be in it, but he's not.
Yeah, Baron Zemo also should be in it. You're right, because he was
Julie Julie Dreyfus, whatever her character was.
Yes, the girl who brings U.S. agent into the fold and gives him a new suit and such.
Yeah.
Dan, any thoughts over there, or is this just the part of the show where you're just like, I didn't watch any of this? Okay. All right. Moving on. We did see a trailer for Secret Invasion. Man, I am jacked for a fucking Samuel L. Jackson-led Nick Fury show, basically.
Finally.
Secret Invasion, for those of you who aren't paying attention, Secret Invasion was teased during Captain Brie Larson. Captain complains about her coworkers. Captain who literally looks like she wants to tell you that she hates men every time she's on camera. Captain shouldn't have been in that role. Ronda Rousey should have been Captain Marvel. I don't care what you have to say about Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey would have been better than Brie Larson. But they tease that Skrulls have been on Earth for years, as we all know, and that's been long coming, and we're finally going to get the lead into Kree versus Skrull war with Secret Invasion. Let's go through here. I hope everybody watched the panel, or I'm going to look like a fucking idiot for throwing it to the panel. But what'd you guys think? Somebody start.
I mean, I'm excited for it. Looking at it, the thing I honestly liked about the trailer the most is that if they didn't have the Marvel logo going on at the beginning and the end of it, you would have no clue that's a Marvel movie. You would just think it's some badass action movie going on, which I think is good.
Well, yeah, they did that with, just for a quick mention. First of all, MJF in the chat, Brie Larson has the personality of drying paint. I agree. Anyway, they did that with Werewolf by Night, which was a series. It's just the series that introduces Moon Knight too. If they did that, I would have thought that was a Universal Monsters trailer. Awesome. Continue.
Yes, I mean, like I really enjoyed it for what it was. I don't know a lot of the story and the lead up to it because, hot take, I still haven't seen Captain Marvel. But
you have it on my iTunes. You can watch it.
That's fair. But I think it's on Disney Plus too. Either way, so I really liked the trailer for how it presented itself. I was able to pick up on the fact that it was basically, as far as I could tell, going in completely blind, that it's like a Nick Fury origin story.
I wouldn't say Fury.
Or am I way off on that?
I think you're off because Fury hasn't really had an origin told yet. There's not much, even in the comic books.
That's
Captain
why
Marvel.
I thought it was.
Yeah, well, Fury. This is where we find out that Skrulls are on Earth and have taken over. Dan's doing a hard Google over here on it just so he knows what's up. Anyway. But what it really is, I'm going to apologize, guys. This superhero movies really aren't Dan's forte, so it's probably just going to be the four of us talking right now. He's just like, yeah, I'll watch it, but I'm not going to rush out and see it. Accurate statement.
I have never seen Dan's head snap that quick in my life.
Well, yeah, because I'm getting buried live on the show by the host. So,
Listen,
trying to dig you back out, man.
I'm not going to bury you. You're a wrestling
no, you
historian.
are burying me. And the fact is that I have a good, I watch a lot of superhero movie films. I have a pretty good background of it. It's just the fact of that when there's so much that they release every year, it's tough to kind of keep up. And, with personal lives and things of that nature, it's hard to kind of keep up with a lot of the stuff that comes out all the time. And yes, I know it's on demand and all that stuff, but still at the same time, when you got 15 goddamn Star Wars shows and then you got 15 goddamn Marvel shows, where do you start and where does it end?
And I just want to correct one thing. Instead of every year, you meant to say every freaking week. It's
you're right.
15
you're right,
shows
Steve.
a week.
Exactly.
Yeah, it kind of feels like that. And with Secret Invasion, though, they've been laying plans for this. Watch the trailer if you haven't. Star Wars is up next, and honestly, I don't really give a fuck about Star Wars because Obi-Wan sucked. Fight me.
Oh, Steve has feelings.
I am not gonna watch Andor. Could give a fuck less. The Mandalorian is great, but if it doesn't end with season 3, I'm done. There, I said it. How many seasons can we watch? I'm attached to the kid. I took off my helmet. I'm not a Mandalorian anymore. Sasha Banks isn't vaccinated, and everybody's going to complain on the internet about it. She's not going back to WWE either.
Well, spoilers. Now I don't have to watch the show yet.
Yeah, literally. It's the first. I'm sorry. As interesting of a character as the Mandalorian is, how fucking long do we have to watch him pine over Grogu? I'm sorry, it's getting boring.
But everyone loves Grogu.
Of course. But, like, okay, to Dan's point, since I apparently buried him, you got Star Wars, you got episode 1, 2, 3, 4, or no, episode 1, 2, 3, then you got to watch Rogue One. Then you got to watch Han Solo, and then you got to go back and watch 4. Then you got to watch 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then you got to watch Mandalorian before watching all of them. Then there's the Book of Boba Fett, which everybody hated because the Mandalorian came in and apparently
It's
was
Marvel
the whole
in
show.
space. It's
But yeah,
Marvel
exactly.
in space.
So now we're getting a show called Andor, but if you didn't watch Andor, you're not going to understand who Ahsoka is if you didn't watch the Clone Wars. Literally, Star Wars is the most overpumped fucking shit in history. Like, I'm so sick of it. I love Star Wars. Like, give me the first 5 or 6. And that's it. I don't need a whole, like, I love Rey Skywalker. I don't need a show about a robot troop that shoots things. I don't give a fuck about Andor. Give me Ahsoka. Get rid of this stupid Obi-Wan Kenobi show. Why the fuck is Obi-Wan a butcher?
I kind of
I'm not
forgot
the
that
Jedi
show
any-
even existed.
Like, we started watching it, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm seriously invested in Miss Marvel, and I got to get back to that. Marvel, I'm very invested in because they're taking all these side characters that I loved when I was a kid, but, like, I'm getting a headache just talking about Star Wars. Like, I'm so sick of everything that they did. Like, Disney took it over and they were like, Star Wars, throw shit at the wall, throw all of the shit, let's make a show. Here's another one.
All of that stuff's going to sit over there for the next month until
No,
he cleans
I'll
up
clean
the
it up
basement
after the
next
show. But the fact of the matter is like, literally, look, hey, let's just keep throwing shit at the wall. That's
If
what's
Disney
going-
really, if Disney really wants to create some buzz, they should just release the holiday special on Disney Plus
Thank you!
and just leave it alone.
Fucking thank you! Ah! Done.
time.
Rebecca,
Oh, God.
did you have something?
Done.
He's about to do a backflip into his new cases.
All right, so I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm gonna defend Disney Star Wars in this argument.
I hate you so much.
Yeah, I never thought I would say that.
It's payback for Scarlet Witch or
Yeah.
Scarlet Black Widow.
So yes, a lot of it is trash. I will not defend that. Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni have proven two things in their careers.
One, that it's a circle jerk for everything that everybody apparently wanted from comic
No.
books.
Nope.
And two, that they just want money.
No, both wrong. I will say. I will stand on this soapbox. Jon Favreau gave us Iron Man 1. And
Okay.
Iron Man 1 classic. I don't think anybody ever disputes Iron Man 1 is a good movie. Again, the bigger studio gets greedy. Oh my God, this was great. Do another one. He goes, okay, I'll do another one. It took me 2 years to do the first one. 2 years, I'll get you the next one. They go, wrong answer. You have 1 year. Rush us another Iron Man. We get Iron Man 2. We get trash.
Iron Man 2 wasn't trash. It was fun. It just wasn't executed right.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of.
I'm sorry,
comparing
why-
it to part one. Comparing it to part one.
Truth be
it's like-
told, why did you use Justin Hammer as your main villain?
exactly, because he had to rush it. So it's like I'm just gonna reuse stuff.
Whiplash
And then
would
he
have
was-
been
and
better
then-
as the main villain.
And then he was like, I'm out. He said I'm out after that. So then let's go to Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni, working on Avatar. George Lucas is like, hey, I want you to work on a cartoon for me.
Who gives a
he goes,
fuck about Avatar?
I think this is a prank. And he's like, nope, it's me, George Lucas. I'd like you to come do Clone Wars cartoon. Clone Wars cartoon starts off kiddie. They go, hey, you know what? Kids aren't watching this shit. It's grown ass adults watching this shit. Clone Wars Makes a Hard Left is the best Star Wars series
That
of all
is
time.
the one series of Star
yeah,
Wars
but
I've watched.
you need to watch
But-
like
but hang
35
on.
seasons of
But
it to
hang on.
understand what's
But you
going on
don't.
now.
No,
You
you
don't.
don't. You don't. Only if you want to. But here's the thing. Then Disney makes the purchase and they pull the same shit they pulled on Jon Favreau. Hey, what you're doing is cool. I like how you think you know what you're doing. This is what we want now. So do this. And that's why now you have all these shows with just tons of fan service because they grip these guys and they're like, give us as much as you can, as fast as you can.
Mhm.
And that's why like Obi-Wan, like set designs weren't done, or they're moving certain ways before they even know how to build out the set. And it doesn't even make sense. So what we've been getting for the most part is trash. The bright spots, I will say, the bright spot in the last 10 years, Rogue One is top 3 Star Wars movie for me. Most people will say it's a top 3 or top 5 because
I agree.
To the previous point, unless you saw Star Wars in the front, it's pretty much moving along. You forget it's a Star Wars movie. There's no space wizards. There's no nothing. It's just rebels doing rebel shit.
Yeah, but
being
that was good. It was
Right,
it was
right.
entertaining. Like,
so that's why
we
Andor.
didn't need to know where we didn't need to know Obi-Wan was chopping alien dick in a butchery in the middle of
But they had to.
Tatooine for
But they
10
had to
years.
make that series because they contractually are like, we need to make
It's boring.
X many series, X like amount of time. Obi-Wan was supposed to be. They actually even said it. Obi-Wan was supposed to be a movie,
Then it should have been.
and then Disney was like, we need to milk this shit, stretch it out over 10 episodes or whatever
They're
it was.
becoming EA games.
Yeah,
Yeah, basically.
And
And,
then
next thing you know, there's going to be microtransactions to get the after credit scene. You watch.
yeah, well, there was
Fuck EA.
microtransactions in Battlefront too. So like,
Trash.
but
Trash.
so then I don't remember which one was which, but they come up with the idea for Obi-Wan as the movie, and then they tell Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, hey, we need you to make a TV show about Boba Fett, but like we don't want to pay the rights for Boba Fett because contractually they still owe George Lucas money when they use his characters. So change it up a little bit. And you know that story you wrote for Obi-Wan? Yeah, use that here, but also still make Obi-Wan.
Yeah, you know
and that's why
what's-
both stories are the same exact thing.
You know what I loved about Boba Fett, though? Okay, Becca and I, we love, honey, good determination if we like a show or not is how fast we get back to it. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, have we gone back to Obi-Wan yet? We got through 3 episodes and I was
No.
kind of like, meh. Okay,
We haven't.
Mandalorian, amazing story, but there's only so far you can go with that story before it's like, okay, now we're just shoving this down people's throats, okay?
But
Book of
Grogu's
Boba Fett,
cute.
Book of Boba Fett, Mando should have showed up in the last episode and that was it, okay?
Yeah.
It's great that Grogu's cute and everyone's going, oh my God, baby Yoda!
That's all they care about.
That's all they care about. And you know what? It's doing a disservice to the longtime fans. Like, listen,
1000%.
I'm sorry. I said this earlier in the show about Halloween, and I'm going to say this again. They're literally fucking timelines, and they're just fucking
sure.
characters up.
For sure.
Okay, listen.
Yeah.
Right now,
Grogu has become the Pikachu of Star Wars.
Star Wars currently, in my estimation, is the Halloween 6 of its timeline.
I think it's going to turn around.
I hope it turns around because I'm a lifelong Star Wars fan, and it just sucks right now. Like, look, congratulations, you guys. We got a show about who the fuck is Andor. What the fuck is Andor?
I think it's going to be a great show.
It looks interesting. I'm not gonna lie. I watched the trailer. I was like, oh, okay. I know what they're talking about because I've seen the original 3.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
well,
okay.
I just
I'll
wish
check it out.
I just wish that Grogu stayed with Luke.
Yes.
Because I thought that was like
should have been the end of his timeline.
it should have been the end of his timeline, but I love Grogu and although, I think, Grogu's like a cute puppy.
Yeah.
Everyone really wants to love on him and adore him because puppies are cute, right? And, even though I think my dog is the cutest. But I think that's what it is. And then it's now just getting old and obnoxious. But and they, like you said, it's just a continuation of the story of the Mandalorian, but it's we
saw it.
We saw it. It's been been there, done that. But I do love Grogu, but I just wanted him to stay with Luke because I wanted him to learn the ways of the Jedi.
Yeah.
And that was really it.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I loved Wayne's World. I didn't need Wayne's World 2. There was no reason.
I did. No, I did.
What?
That's a lie.
Wayne's World 2?
Yeah.
I didn't need it. I'm just saying. Like, I don't
No,
need a
but-
boat. Listen,
That's not okay.
You're just objectively wrong.
Okay. Well, my wife is always right. I'm objectively wrong. It's okay. Moving on to something that actually is cool that Disney is doing, and I know Ed Hobbs, Maximum Croonage, is in the chat, and he's gonna love this one. Indiana Jones 5. Perfect definition of resting, and same with. I'm gonna relate this to Ghostbusters. Excellent timing. Like, you've rested the property. You know that Harrison Ford is getting there in age, and it's time to do maybe one last hurrah with Harrison Ford, give him that send-off that he deserves, because the 4th movie was great, but it wasn't that great. It was okay.
I
Like,
like the Crystal Skulls.
I loved Crystal Skull, but I don't feel like it ended the right way. It's been a while. Maybe I need to go back and watch it. But there's not been a bad Indiana Jones movie. But this is the point I'm getting at is you can only do so much before, like, okay, Ghostbusters 2016 wasn't made for our generation. It was made for those young kids who needed their own heroes. That's fine. It's not considered canonical. It's not within the Ghostbusters timeline. But we hadn't had a Ghostbusters movie since, Dan, give me the date. When was Ghostbusters 2? 1989, am I correct?
Correct, 1989.
Okay, so we hadn't had a Ghostbusters movie within that timeline since 1989. The time to come back with Afterlife and introduce new characters, perfect timing. Looking forward to the sequel. It was well done. It was a great story. It was emotional. I cried when I saw Harold Ramis. It was beautiful. And Dan being the resident diehard Ghostbusters fan in this troupe, you know, I mean, I think it was a beautiful movie. It was a great fan service, and it was fan service done correctly.
Correct.
And that's just me. And Smallz just said he's never seen any of the Indiana Jones movies. What the fuck, Smallz?
What? You gotta be fucking kidding me.
I didn't grow
You
up
are
with it.
pissing off everybody
be
in the
fucking
chat tonight,
kidding me.
Smallz. The testosterone is flowing.
Can I just say though? Can I just say though that Harrison Ford? It's not like they picked another person to play Indiana Jones. It's always been Harrison Ford.
Right.
It's not like they're recreating Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom and the Lost Ark or anything like that.
No, and that's
with the
great.
Last Crusade. But
they were
they're
well done,
staying
that's why.
true. But they're staying true to the character that it's Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
So therefore, they're not branching off. They're keeping up with his timeline.
Absolutely.
And I think that's
the way it should
totally
be.
fair.
No, and that's the way it should be done. But with Star Wars, it's like, hey, this character took a shit in the background of A New Hope. We're going to give him a show.
But this is not Star Wars. This
No,
is
but
Indiana
that's my
Jones.
point is that this is the one thing on this list that I think that
Technically a
Disney is
Lucas
doing.
property, though, still, too.
Yeah. But the way I see it is that they're doing this right. Steve, you've kind of been silent over there for a minute now that we know that Smallz hasn't seen any good movies. Thoughts on Indiana Jones?
I do have a couple of problems. One, well, actually, you mentioned time has passed since. I think that would be yes, but we still have the fresh wound. Wow, words tonight. We have the fresh flesh wound of Force Awakens and what they did to Han Solo.
Oh,
So-
that did him so dirty.
So that's where I'm like, all right, is Disney going to Disney again, kill him off to bring in somebody new? Because Crystal Skull was supposed to push out Shia LaBeouf as the next indie, but movie did not do well at all.
Shia LaBeouf went crazy too.
Correct.
That's all Optimus Prime's fault. I'm putting it on him.
But I really wanted Indiana Jones to take the Back to the Future approach, because at the end of Last Crusade, one, it's called The Last Crusade, and two, they drink from the chalice and become immortal. So I'm like, you bringing him back and he's old now and like fragile. I'm like, that ruins the end of that movie.
Could be deep
and his
fake
dad's
too.
not
It could
dead.
be deep fake too. We don't know.
And they're not gonna do it.
I mean, we're gonna have to wait for the trailer. That's one of those things. I see what you're saying though. I agree with you. And I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen the Indiana Jones movies. I need to sit down and watch them because they're one of Becca's favorite movies.
Oh yeah, they're great.
But
And Short Round is back.
Oh
by the
no,
way.
and they were fun. Like I was the first time I saw Indiana Jones like since childhood was with Dan actually. Like we sat down and watched Raiders of the Lost Ark, and it was awesome. It was awesome. Like, there are so many movies out there, and this is going to lead into the end of the show here in a minute, guys. We're going to start doing watch-alongs for movies. Get ready. And the first one that we're going to do is right here.
But can I?
The greatest movie of all time. But let's get back to Indiana Jones so we can wrap the show up.
One more thing. Can I just say one more thing?
No, you can't. I'm just kidding. Go ahead, honey.
So when River Phoenix played the young Indiana Jones, and
Oh wait, that was a show,
That's-
wasn't it?
no,
No,
That was a sh-
well,
that-
there was a
yeah.
show called The Young Indy. Yes,
It was the
there
beginning
was a show.
It was the beginning of the Last Crusade.
Last Crusade.
Yeah.
And he will forever be my young Indy. And the Indiana Jones has a special place in my heart because it was a movie that my mom, my dad, and I watched together. So obviously watching the the Lost Ark or whatever, when the faces of the Nazis that they melted off, I was absolutely terrified. It gave me nightmares. But it really holds a special place in my heart because I love those movies, and I think we played them on our VHS tapes. I'm that old. Nope, I'm not. Forever.
Honey, we're all that old, don't worry.
And
Except for Smallz.
we basically wore them out because we loved watching them. And so I'm actually really excited to see this. I know that when Harrison Ford presented presented at D23, he was in tears. Like, he knew that this was probably his last Indiana Jones. And
probably his last movie. He's like 109.
No, he's not.
He needs to retire and just enjoy life now. He's given us so much of his life.
But I think this is something special. They're actually bringing back that little boy from the first movie.
Short Round, yes.
Yeah, Short Round, yeah. And I think that's going to be the closure. I think there's going to be closure in this movie. I think this will definitely be the last one. I really hope Disney doesn't milk it, but
it's Disney and they will.
No, and I hope they don't. But
look what they've done to Star Wars. They've literally they literally are about to give like an alien who took a dump in A New Hope a show.
Sure, but you can't replace Harrison Ford.
You're right. Well, you can't replace Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, any of them, but they're gonna try to do it anyway.
They tried.
Yeah,
they tried. They're trying hard, and that's what they're doing. But
I think this is the end. I think this is the end of Indiana Jones, and hopefully they ended on a good note. I liked Crystal Skulls, but you know what? And I thought Shia LaBeouf was great, even though he's crazy now, but and too much of a method actor. But yeah, I have good feelings for this movie.
Because I think it's just meth actor.
For the record, Harrison Ford is 80.
Yes, he's old. All right, guys.
Geez.
But that's going to do it for tonight's brand show. Technical difficulties and all. Did you guys have a good time out there in the chat?
Time.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't get to Avatar, but that's okay.
Yeah,
Who gives a fuck about Avatar?
Nobody gives a fuck about Avatar.
Fuck Avatar.
Fuck Avatar.
James Cameron could kiss my ass. Go back to making fucking goddamn Terminator movies, okay?
For fuck's sake, also give us The Abyss on 4K.
And fucking True Lies on Blu-ray, you
Thank you.
Ooh,
Fuck!
Yeah, that'd be good.
I gotta fucking hear about blue people. Who gives a shit?
Yes, and fuck the giant
Smurfs.
Smurfs. Exactly. Guys, thanks for staying with us, being so patient. I apologize that tonight we weren't able to get Lloyd Kaufman. I want to thank my wife, Rebecca. This is her first time being on a podcast. Round of applause for Rebecca.
Yay!
I want to thank Steve Archer for taking a last-minute text to come on to and talking this jumbled mess that was the last segment of the show, but this is what happens when you argue about movies with your friends and have to work kayfabe to get one of them to complain about a movie. For Steve, for Chris, for Becca, for Dan, my name is Billy Nichols. I am the brand. My name is Quicksilver. Some other things. I don't even know my own name anymore. I'm melting away over here. Just don't call me late for lunch.
We'll see you next time. My name is Chris.
He doesn't even.
I didn't know you were pointing over here, which is
well. You're on my right.
Goodbye, everyone.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you guys
everybody.
We'll see you next Tuesday for Bobby Valla. None of these asshats are going to be here except for Chris and I.
And maybe the taco truck that I rescued.
Maybe the taco truck that he rescued, which is the reason we had to bring that show back.
Hey, Michael, thank you for the prime
Michael,
sub.
thank you for the prime sub. Much appreciated. Guys, we'll be back with Michael J. Fox in tow as well. Thanks for tuning in. And if you're watching this, Star Wars sucks. See you next time.
Peace.
Oh, we didn't go out. Shit.
You don't like the lights, but it's camera time. Said take the picture, but you rolled your eyes. Now I'm mortified and still terrorized. Push me behind to get me from my better side. I wanna push you back, but that's all you want. Wanna rub me up, I'm holding back. Tryna get me framed, throw me in cuffs. Said I attacked you, that's just a false truth. No need to argue, and yeah, I've had enough. You follow me anywhere I try to be alone. I find you there. so scared to leave my house, so I cannot run free from this. Always being watched by you, and that's so inconsiderate. My privacy, does that exist? Probably haven't heard of it. Need to live a different life, cause lights and cameras are in it. Trying to find a silver lining. All I wanna do is avoid the violence. But you're here again, I'm losing it. There's no more screaming and silence. Get out my face, turn off the flash. I hate the fame, no more of that. Leave me alone or I'll collapse. I need a break, don't feel the crowd. You follow me anywhere I try to be alone. I'll find you there.